Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at the market leading stocks via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Wednesday, December 4th, 2013. Scans today in the NASDAQ patch are pretty much paired off. We did have a volume bump in Apple. That one's closing fairly strongly, but we'll be putting in a trend termination candle. So we'll be looking for downside tomorrow in Apple. Amazon's got a downside CPS, Altera, Entertainment Arts, and so does First Solar, so those will all be on the list for tomorrow. To the buy side, Google's actually holding up fairly well, all things considered. We've got a couple of contra candles here to take a look at for possible upside for tomorrow. Moving on to the financials, not a lot of signals here, a couple on the buy side, but there are some pockets of decent volume. H-band's got a volume pop, and that's on some pretty good downside. Seeing the same price action in U.S. Bancorp. Visa is actually kind of circling the wagons here. Is going to wind up closing above the day's open with a contra candle to the buy side. Energy patch is definitely better to buy. A lot of the stocks are lower on the day, but they're above the day's open. Definitely one of the areas that's coming on stronger. We did get a pivot in oil today and a break above the 10 EMA, so we're going to short-term positive in the oil futures. So keep an eye on the energy names tomorrow. The generals, not seeing too much as far as signals go. Dow Chemical very weak, more than almost 3% below the day's open on increased volume. Best Buy is pretty strong today. That's showing an upside CPS. That one's 2.5% above the day's open. Big volume today in Minnesota manufacturing. That one has a contra buy signal, and also pretty good volume today in Pfizer. That one's going to be pretty weak. I'll leave a very bearish candle on the chart. Moving on to the housing names, just a little bit better to buy. Lowe's maybe trying to form a pivot here, putting in a contra candle to the buy side. Transports, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mostly lower on the day, but not a lot of signals to go with them. And following the commodity names, kind of a mixed bag here. Some of the non-precious metals names are trading fairly well. U.S. Steel, probably one of the best ones on the day, 3% above the day's open. Potash is trading fairly well, but that one's going to put in an RPS signal to the downside for tomorrow. Pretty good volume in double G, but most of the precious metals are to the downside. This one's a little less than 2% below the day's open. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.